show you how to do that. Basically, you take your gouge and you come from here and you go straight down until you touch that nose and you put a split in his forehead. Again, I'm going to put it on a table to do that. I don't know if you can see it or not that way, but it's hard to do holding in my hand, that's for sure. Now if you have a mallet, you can just tap it down, but since I'm using handheld gouges, I need a little something to push against. See how little divot I put in his head there? Right? But that's going to come down, we shape all that over, that's going to give us that nice brow line there, right? Helps start separating his eyebrows and stuff too. Okay? So a little bit more I think I'm going to take out there. Come back down to the nose and scoop right from there up. And go back down again. Make sure you get a good little crinkle there. Okay? And from there we can round over with our detail knife. Back up to your hairline up here. Take some of that out. Shape it up a little. Now, like I said, you do all this with some big gouges and chisels and a mallet. This guy carved quick. We'll have to put one on the board outside, but today I really wanted my fan on. Little warm out. Didn't feel like standing out in the sun. Humidity's pretty high. He's sweating all over the carving. Not pretty. Okay, round that down. You just kind of blend in here, right? Taking the forehead down on top a little. Doing a roll cut up under that hairline we cut in. Top. Put it on the table for some leverage to really get that stuff cut in there. Okay, clean up some of this mess. Okay, we got a good start there. Underneath the nostril here, a little chip right there I got to get out. Okay, now I know he doesn't look like much now, but the next two things we do you'll start seeing. I'm going to come from up here in between the nose and then run a line with my detail knife. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to try and give him a little different expression today. So. Probably hard to see in the camera. Anyway, you'll see after I cut it, I should get some shadow. I'm going to stop cut the line I drew, bring it up and over, turn it around to undercut it. Removal cut. Try and get some shadow. I could do that with a V tool, but I do like trying to just do a carving with a knife sometimes. For the most part, a couple gouges. And the more I use my knife, the more practice I get using my knife. Frankly, I've seen some of the best carvings, and my favorite carvings are from carvers that just did the whole thing with a bench knife. Okay, on this side, I mean, I power carve. I carve with gouges and chisels. One thing I don't do much of is chainsaw carving. I'd like to get into doing some of that too. But there's nothing like having a knife, a little carving knife on you. You can always find a stick to whittle on. No matter where you are, you know. That's the beauty of that, learning to carve with your knife. Okay, you might see a little bit of the shadow now. Starting to give him some eyelids here. Not lids, but underneath the brows. I'm really picking at it and shaping the brows and where I'm really going to set everything up. But I'm going to have to take that nose down a little bit more and start finishing him off so I can get up and under there a little better. Now, I do have a really neat gouge when I do go to gouges. I have a couple of nice little scoopers that make that job a lot easier. I'm going to grab one that looks like this. Alright, but you use whatever you got. Alright, you might even want to get a Dremel and dig it out. But what I'm going to do is scoop some out underneath that. Or go out and get yourself a nice set of flex cut gouges. They have all kinds on the market, all kinds of carving. It doesn't have to be flex cut now. I just happen to prefer flex cut. Fairly cheap. They have good tools. I got some real expensive stuff I don't even want to bring out of the box half the time. But I carve a lot of found wood. And most of my stuff, if it's not a gouge, I usually just make it. I make all my own knives. I have scooping tools that I've made. I use a lot. You use what you got, you know. Okay. Starting to shape up a little bit. We got some wood out from underneath over here. The nose still needs to get cut in a little better. But the way I'm going to start doing that, the nose is actually little off center. I'm going to take this side down over here with my detail knife, start shaping that just by angling it. With my knife. I'm going to get it to blend into the side of that face pretty good. I do want to round it off a little because I don't like them flat. Now, I'm going to take my gouge again, the number 5, the smaller one. I come up to the nose, invert it, start at the center here, and I'm going to wait till I'm about halfway down before I really let it start cutting. And I'm going to push it down like this and then in, okay? Down to the side, give it a twist, okay, like that. You see that? Gotta look over my shoulder to see the camera here. Pull it out. Do the same on this side. I'm gonna put it on the nose this way and push to the side and push it in, okay? In case I get out of the camera here. Sometimes it helps to turn it over. Turn it this way so you can see it. Push it down. Make sure it's fairly even with the other one. And dig it in pretty good. Okay. Now you see I set that nose in with those 2 cuts pretty good. Now all I need to do is come up in here with my detail knife, or you can even clear a chip. Just like that. Your removal cut, just take your gouge and scoop it out. Okay. Now I have a little more room to clean up under the eye. Blend that up into the corner there. This side, I'm going to go right up the side of the nose. Can never seem to get deep enough in the corners right here. Okay, you always need to run in another line up there. Invert it, round that off. You see, he's starting to set up underneath that brow now. See that? What's this side look like here? He's starting to look alright. Needs a little more taken out over here in the face area. Take my detail knife over here. Clear some of that. Sometimes you just don't have enough room to work. A lot of times you're sitting there wondering why he's just not shaping up. You're working on a round piece. Look to the side and see what he starts looking like from there. Right? And give yourself more room. I mean, look at all that wood we haven't taken off yet, all that bark. That'll really give us room to take a look at him and see what he looks like. Then you go, oh, okay, now I see why he doesn't look right. Okay. Always turn it and look at your profile. Remember, carvings are three-dimensional. There you go. Now he's starting to look like somebody. Okay. So that cleared to the side now. I got a lot more room on that side. I'm going to do a little more on this side. Make sure I have plenty of room. And make sure I leave plenty of bark too, so kind of frames the face and everything blends together when you're done. Gives it a real neat effect. There we go. Some of that off. I mean, you could take all the bark off too. I just like having to leave the bark on. This bark's really flaky, so it's not the best. Not like real tight maple or something, or dogwood. I mean, you grind into the bark on maple. You could pretty much just finish the bark with polyurethane. It just stays really tight. Or a cherry just pops right off if you rub on it. You know? But the wood underneath is beautiful. Make a walking stick out of this, it'd be beautiful. Okay.